Right, so as we are talking about sports being funny and how the last minute changes are seen quite often, like events get called off at the last minute, like India's test match against England or New Zealand's tour of Pakistan. So here are brands apprehensive about this happening before investing in an event?
So yeah, brands, see, brands are looking for, some kind of guarantees. They don't want to park money and then that property not happen, right? Because they've put aside a big chunk of their money, and if it doesn't happen, then they don't know what to do with that money that they've put aside. So, but in see, but brands also realize that the situation that we are in is because of a pandemic, right? Other than this, how many times has a tournament been called off in India? The only time I remember was that one Champions League tournament, which was called over because of some attacks in Bombay, right? But other than that, I think in the country we've managed to have consistently a consistent calendar of tournaments, and they have been happening. So that gives brands and brand owners a lot of confidence that these properties will happen. So when we go to market, we typically say, okay, this is the calendar, this is when it's happening, this is the city that's happening in. So there is a form of commitment that we make to brands, and then it helps build that confidence around a property.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Right. So since we've spoken about ISL, IPL, and now another interesting thing that we wish to talk about is that India will be hosting Women's Cricket World Cup and Women's Football Asian Cup next year in 2022.
Right.
So, what kind of shift in viewership do you perceive when we talk about women's sports?
So increasingly, it is becoming bigger and bigger. So the last World Cup that we had, the viewership for the World Cup was far higher than the season, the edition prior to that. Okay. Also, in my mind, if common culture starts talking about a particular topic, then it's seeding in even better. And that's an example I've used in multiple presentations that we've made to clients. So earlier, how many movies did you have around Indian sports, right? There were in my growing up years, I think the only movie I remember was Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, which had a bike race, right? Okay, but look at the kind number of movies that are coming around common culture, right? Around sports as a common culture. Okay, so it's a proof to the fact that people are looking at sports more, more cohesively. So I think it will. The other example I give is that who would have thought there will be movies made on kabaddi a few years ago, right? But Karan
Right.
Johar, the purveyor of cool, does a movie with kabaddi as a central theme in Student of the Year. Or there's another movie, which is made with Kangana. Or, also, if you look at it, the recent Cadbury's ad, right, where the guy is cheering for the
Right.
lady, right? So
Yes.
all these are, in my mind, a gradual shift in the mindset that is happening, right? Increasingly, you have women players and icons who are being used in communication. Okay, what happened with Mirabai Chanu,
Yeah.
or or Sindhu, is all proof that it is a step in the right direction, right?
Right.
So I have no doubts in my mind that the women's sports will increase. They will get more traction. They'll need to keep performing. The
Yeah.
parameters will be the same. People will not watch women's sport if the team is not performing well. That's a given. So if they and they've been performing well, right? I see no reason why it will grow by leaps and bounds.
Right, sir. Very interesting. Sir, like at MICA, sports marketing is one of the most opted elective. And
Oh,
so I'm sure a lot of MICAns would be listening to this. So, sir, as a young student aspiring to take this niche route, sir, what is that one piece of advice or couple of advice that you would want to give to us?
so I use this example a number of times. Okay, and what I say is that sports teaches you how to lose, right?
Yeah.
You are not taught how to lose in life. From your parents to your teachers to everybody tells you how to win. Okay, but learning how to lose and deal it with a straight face and go back and perform again to win is a critical skill set, right?
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I think sports teaches you that. right? That you can lose, but go back again and win, okay, and conquer all odds. So in my mind, it is critical that you be persistent, you be perseverant, and give it your 100%. Okay,
Right.
and you might lose today, but then you go back and you do your best and you win again. So I think it's a life skill that sports teaches you,
Hmm.
and it's the way you deal with it. So there's so many life skills that sports teaches you, and I can keep going on and on and on. But
Yeah.
this is one thing that really, engages with me a lot.